Good afternoon. Would everyone please stand and join Chantel Hudak in singing our national anthem? Please be seated. Faculty, students, parents and relatives, distinguished guests, and friends of the university. I am delighted to welcome you to the 169th Commencement of the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. This year is the 136th anniversary of the founding of the first normal school in the state of Wisconsin. That was the birth of what has become today the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. During these 136 years, over 42,000 students have received degrees from this outstanding institution. Those students came to UWP not only from our state and nation, but also from countries throughout the world. Like today's graduates, they chose to attend UWP based on our reputation for high-quality education, dedicated students, and knowledgeable and caring faculty and staff. This afternoon, over 400 degrees will be conferred. Commencement is a celebration of accomplishment, of success. It is a time for students, faculty, families, and friends to remember, to reflect, and to anticipate the future as these candidates accept their degrees and accept their new role as members of society and as alumni of this university. Our sincere congratulations to every one of the graduates. The graduating senior, chosen to deliver the valedictory address today is Miss Christina Hankey. Christina is graduating summa cum laude, completing her Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering with a minor in German. Christina has effectively balanced academics, student involvement, and real-life work experience as she's pursued and completed her degree. She has been a leader in the UWP residence halls, serving as a residence assistant and program director. She has been involved in campus life, participating in Project Pioneer, a charity project raising money for an abuse shelter, serving on the homecoming court, playing intramural volleyball, and performing with the university singers and the swing club. Christina is president of the American Society of Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning Engineers and has earned membership in Phi Kappa Phi, Tau Beta Pi, and Pi Tau Sigma honor societies. Christina has completed internships with Oshkosh Truck Corporation and is seeking employment as a mechanical engineering graduate. We wish Christina the very best. Christina Hankey.
Chancellor Marquis, deans, professors, families, my fellow graduates and friends. For those who are wondering and who offered to give me their phone book, yes, they hooked me up with a nice stool up here, so we're all good. First of all, congratulations, we made it. After all the hard work and the long hours we have spent in whatever building you've lived in the last 2 weeks, we are finally here. We're on the home stretch. The finish line is in sight. But what race is next? What are you doing after college? I'm sure all the graduates are very familiar with this question. In fact, some of us who don't have jobs yet may even loathe the question. I'm a proud member of that group. But wherever you are in your career search, deciding what to do after college is an incredibly large decision. The opportunities are limited only by your imagination. Yet, that doesn't make the decision any easier, does it? In life, you can't just whip a U-turn and go back to where you started from without affecting so many other areas of your life. Do you remember way back when you started college, if you didn't know quite what field you wanted to get into, perhaps your advisor directed you to take one of those career interest survey tests. You remember the ones that had about 100 questions or so, all Scantron, do you like this, do you not like that, trying to help you pick a major? Remember some of the questions? Some of them, they were real obvious, weren't they? You pretty much knew what major they were pointing to. For example, do you like to teach young children new things? Or do you like rewiring electrical circuitry? I think I have a good idea what job those were leading towards. But some of the questions were a little less obvious, but perhaps a little more helpful. For example, do you like to work alone or in groups? Do you like structured time? Or do you like to work outdoors? I'm certain some of the graduates here picked their majors based on the answers to these survey tests. what about after college? Even after picking a major, there is a whole world of opportunities out there. Well, I decided to make my own career interest survey test for what to do after college. Now don't worry, it's not 100 questions, Scantron. In fact, it has just one question. It's a quote by Robert Schuller. What would you attempt if you knew that you could not fail? What would you attempt if you knew you could not fail? It's an interesting question, isn't it? Like any engineer, I tackled this question in 3D. Got a personal side, a professional side, and humanitarian side. On the personal side, maybe you'd ask out that certain person in your class you never had the guts to talk to. Maybe you'd run a marathon. On a professional side, maybe you'd ask your boss for that big raise you know you have worked so hard to earn. Or maybe you'd quit your job and chase after your childhood dreams of perhaps being a Blue Bunny ice cream taster. On the humanitarian side, maybe you'd strive for world peace, ending hunger, or curing an illness. But regardless of what level you answer this question on, I think it says a lot to what is most important. It's maybe these important things that we should try to accomplish, even if they are very difficult. Oftentimes, I think we set goals for ourselves based on what we know we can accomplish instead of what we should accomplish. Whether you are a teacher, an engineer, or a journalist, life is more than just a title on your business card. I ask you today to set a life goal. You may not accomplish it today, or next week, or 20 years from now. But when you do accomplish it, or you change, set a new one. Always have a goal. Starting today, many of you are beginning your professional lives. Take some time and decide where you want to go. Don't just put in your 40 or maybe 60 hours a week and go home. Make a difference. If you don't know where to aim, you'll never get there. I'd like to end my talk with another quote, this time from Ted Jedalevich, a former dean of engineering at Marquette University. He said, "Success in itself implies doing something well." Well, you have done something well here at Platteville. You have been successful here. Now go out there and be successful. Do whatever it is you've chosen to do in life as well as you possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Jeffrey Cook, today's commencement speaker. Jeff and his family have a long association with UW-Platteville. His grandmother graduated from this school in 1906, and his father served on our engineering faculty for 30 years. Jeff and his wife Vera earned their undergraduate degrees at UWP. Jeff also earned his law degree from Drake University and has an executive MBA from the University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee. Jeff is president of Cook Group, a financial management and consulting firm. He has more than 20 years of operations, executive recruitment, business planning, and organizational development experience with many manufacturing companies, both in this country and internationally. Jeff has chosen to speak today on the topic of reflections, dreams, and strong relationships. Jeff, we look forward to your message.
Thank you, Chancellor Markey. Greetings, UW-Platteville graduates, distinguished guests, parents, teachers, fellow University of Wisconsin-Platteville alumni, and friends. I am pleased as a 1970 UW-Platteville graduate to be back on campus again for this 169th commencement. Today, I understand approximately 420 graduates will receive degrees from the three colleges. I asked Chancellor Markey when he called that other than perhaps budget constraints, why did he ask me to be the commencement speaker today? And his comment was interesting. He said, well, you've done a lot of interesting entrepreneurial things. And his comments reminded me of a story that my mother, Helen Cook, started telling about me back in the early 1990s. I had started my own consulting business after 20 years as either a business lawyer or a senior corporate officer, and a fellow Platteville resident here, a lawyer who shall remain unnamed, asked my mom, "What is Jeff doing?" And her reply was, "I don't know. He has several part-time jobs, and he hasn't asked me for any money." And I'll bet that many of you parents out in the crowd today are thinking, well, I'm kind of hoping this will be the last time I'll be asked for money from my graduate as well. I have three basic principles that I try to apply in all settings: business, family, friends, and civic. One is have a bias for action. Do something. It's generally easier to correct a wrong than it is to catch up with indecision. Two, keep stretching yourself. Learn more about more things. I don't think this has ever been more critical than it is today, when the rest of the world is learning at a faster rate than we are. My consulting clients that I work with in the manufacturing area just are reporting amazing stories back from China in terms of the pace of the manufacturing and the engineering that's occurring there. And three, operate your life from one script. You can't be different at work than you are at home. A lot of people think you can, but you can't. As Chancellor Marquis mentioned, my father, Art Cook, taught engineering at UW-Platteville and its predecessor, the Platteville Mining School, for 30 years. Just as an aside, I can't think of a greater marriage that ever took place than when the old mining school and UW-Platteville merged together. It's worked out wonderful for the school, for the community, and for the greater area. Some of you know that I did try engineering. I guess it's an affection for our parent, but I did try engineering my sophomore year here at Platteville. And nobody was ever so glad to see somebody make a decision to change as my father when I changed from engineering to psychology after a very forgettable semester. Among those scars are the only F that I've ever gotten in school at any level. And I will tell you, on my way out of Dodge, my senior year at Platteville, I retook the course and got an A. But I have a great appreciation, particularly for those of you who are engineering graduates, as to what you've had to complete in the last 4 or 5 or 6 years. I'd like to address 3 major areas today, and in some ways this will echo some of the things that Christina has said. But I think this is very, very critical as you move forward, and as I'll comment later, it took me a long time to learn some of these things. I'd like to talk about reflections, dreams, and strong relationships. And I'd like to have all of you in the crowd today think of yourself standing on a bridge on the path of life. Behind you are your experiences, what you've done and what you've learned, and ahead of you are your dreams for tomorrow. And with you on this bridge, and it can be a big bridge, you've got your friends, you've got your family, and you've got your support system. I don't know how many of you watched the Millionaire show when it came out. A lot of you must, because the ratings went out of sight, and I guess I've always kind of liked Regis. But I used to like that show, and I used to like the concept of the life support systems. And that's really what I'm talking about here as we talk about relationships and some of these other things. My hope today is to give you some thoughts on how to better prepare for tomorrow, as well as appreciate today, but have an ample number of those life support systems. The basis for my observations are really my experiences during almost 30 years in business and working with my wife, Vera, UW-Platteville graduate, to raise 3 daughters. That's a full-time job in and of itself, as many of you have learned. Since 1990, I've worked with over 125 companies, their presidents and management teams. And during the mid-1990s, when I did more of my practice in executive recruitment than I do today, I work more today in transactions and strategic planning, but during the mid-1990s, I sometimes interviewed 200 or more candidates for executive positions each year. I just want to make one aside here. I will tell you of the state universities, Platteville, I have to add Whitewater, even though they're a great rival in basketball, and Stout. As Platteville graduates, you have a high hurdle to follow here. Your fellow graduates interview well, they do very well in jobs that are out there. You have nothing to be ashamed of being a graduate from Platteville. Let's talk about reflections a little bit. When you reflect on your experiences or life in general, you should do so on several levels. One, learn about history and the experiences of others. Don't fall into the I read only fiction habit. A good idea is to read at least one nonfiction book for every 2 fiction books you read. I have to work constantly on this, but I will tell you that at the end, it's a great practice to have. Number 2, learn to understand yourself by asking yourself challenging questions. How am I different today than I was 4 or 5 years ago? Do I like myself better or not quite as good? What new things have I learned? What have I tried that made me uncomfortable or uncertain? Your professors have probably taught you in many of your disciplines that when you're feeling uncomfortable or uncertain, you're probably learning faster. Who are my heroes? Who were they 4 years ago? What's made me change? And is there anything different I would do if I were just starting over today? Develop a short list of challenging questions to ask yourself, and don't be afraid to ask others those same questions. And last but most important in terms of reflections, reflect on the processes and the methodologies and the patterns by which you learned your experiences and by which you made your decisions. The really good chief executive officers, and I'll talk a little bit more about a group called Tech in a minute, the really good chief executive officers that I work with view learning how other CEOs think as much more important than studying the actual decisions that they make. I've learned that if you follow the correct processes, you will get the right results most of the time. My math professors here at Platteville, including Ken Kundert and Dawson Trine, taught me that there were mathematical exceptions to these, but that productive probabilities were real. Let's talk about dreams for a couple minutes. You 400 plus December 2002 graduates are leaving Platteville today and are going on to new career opportunities, different locations, and new experiences. It's an enviable time in your life. And I would want to tell you this, I know the job market's tough out there right now, but if you hold on, all the economic indicators that I'm seeing are that things are headed toward the better. The job market will improve. Today we had a lunch where 4 members received honorary life membership awards to the UW-Platteville Alumni Association. I think if you read about the accomplishments of these people, you'll see that they're headed toward new dreams, new opportunities, new ideas. I'd suggest that as you move forward with your busy life, however, don't let yourself get caught up in the day-to-day activities to the point where you can't see the forest for the trees. For those of you who like Chris Berman on SportsCenter and old songs, that's an old Stone Ponies song back from our generation. Some thoughts on dreams very quickly. Once every 2 years, turn your dreams into a business and a personal plan. Take a half day or a full day to get away and fully concentrate on the plan. Use a formalized planning process. Put it in writing. What is your business or career vision? What is your personal vision? What's your family vision? How do you see yourself? How do others see you? Have defined goals and action programs. And equally important, probably most important, what values do you hold near and dear to your heart? I don't do a business planning session with a company today where we don't develop a set of non-negotiables with regard to the values of the way we want that business to be run. And you have to ask yourself, with the Enrons and some of the other situations that had developed in the world, if that kind of practice would have been applied, with some of these things have occurred. Share your dreams with your spouse or significant other. What are their dreams? Are they compatible? And if not, can you make them compatible by making adjustments? Quite often I'll ask a candidate for a job position, where do you want to be in 3 years? Where do you want to be in 7 years? And the answer quite often will come back saying, well, I want to do what I'm doing. If that's your answer, that's your answer. But I think as you dream in that, think about where do you want to be within time frames like that. And equally important as you dream and think ahead, how do you want to be remembered? For us elders, there's a book titled Halftime by Bob Buford that's must reading. He talks about changing one's game plan from success to significance. The third area that I'd like to address is strong relationships, because they're the linkage back to your reflections and they're the bridge forward to your dreams. We Americans want group participation. Some of us want it more than others. I've worked for the past 12 years with an organization called the Executive Committee. TEC, as it is known, has 7,000 members worldwide who are presidents of public and private companies ranging in size from $5 million to $100+ million. Some companies are even billion-dollar companies. And the current group I work with, TEC 17, is from the Fox River Valley, which I know some of you call home. We recently defined the ideal TEC member. We said at a minimum there were 3 things that this TEC member had to have. 1, they had to have a continuing curiosity to learn new things. They had to strive for clarity and understanding while expanding their experience base. 2, they had to have the desire and ability to help others in the group in whatever way those in the group need assistance. It may be a functional skill requirement like accounting or planning or engineering. It may be supportive. How do they feel about things? What is their attitude about a certain thing that's happening? Sometimes it's just lending an ear. Be a great listener. And 3, they have to have the capacity and the willingness to ask for help from others in the group. Often it's very difficult to help, often it helps, but it's very difficult for us to reveal our real and perhaps vulnerable side. And I'd have to say, as an aside, it seems that executives and men seem to have this problem the most. It only took me 48 years to realize the depth that these 3 factors bring to a relationship. Take any one of them away and you don't have a strong relationship. Take any one of the members of your group that don't bring these factors to the table, and the group will be less effective, less cohesive. Our TEC 17 group and several clients are also working hard on group dynamics. How do people think in group relationships, and what are the thought processes of individuals and the group as a whole? Many of these teachings come from a book called Experiences in Groups by Wilfred Beyond. Probably other than people in the psychology department, they've never heard of it. He was not a commercial success and is probably some of the most difficult reading that you have. But there's a California consultant that I've worked with by the name of Pat Murray, who studied Beyond extensively, and he identifies 3 basic things that all groups must deal with to be successful. 1, there must be a purpose, a clear direction and a shared fate. 2, there must be an investment by each group member toward a risk of self-disclosure and a willingness and a risk of confrontation within the group. And 3, there has to be high performance and accountabilities for individual members by the group. How do you hold people accountable in a team setting? So as I close, I'd like to ask you yourself, with regard to strong relationships and groups, what groups are you part of that you feel strongest about? What are the groups that you'd go that extra mile for? And have you developed a strong relationship at work, at home, at leisure? And 3, how can you improve the groups that you elect to belong to? I'd like to thank some of my psychology professors, Dr. Don Verger, Bob Velze, and Bill Miller, for giving me a great love and appreciation for psychology. I went kind of out of Platteville, concluding that with a psychology major, you could either get an advanced degree in psychology or sell life insurance or get another degree in something else, and went on to do law at that time. But I will tell you that of all the disciplines that I learned here at Platteville, which really were math, psychology, and journalism, I've probably applied more psychology over the years in my business practice and the personal side than anything else. A significant part of my consulting today is in an area we call organizational development, how company work teams work together effectively. So in closing, I want to thank you again for asking me to share this day. It's been a real day of renewal for me and your celebration with you. Go forward, build strong relationships, reflect, have a dream, and have fun. There's a Green Bay company that is called American Medical Security, and it's now part of Humana. But back when it was American Medical Security, and two guys by the name of Ron Wires and Wally Hilliard owned it, they had a very simple business plan. The business plan was make a buck, have fun, and help the Packers beat the Bears. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Christina, Jeff, thanks both of you for your excellent inspirational words. Each year, our faculty and the Alumni Association recognize alumni who have brought honor to the university. Since our alumni include winners of the Nobel and Pulitzer Prizes, members of the U.S. Congress, Wisconsin legislature, and presidents of major corporations, the choices are never easy. Today, we honor 4 of our outstanding recent alumni as models for this graduating class. And in recognition of their achievements, we have them here so that you may see them today. I will introduce each of them. Each will stand as I do so. I ask that you hold your applause until all are introduced. Biographies of each of the honorees are in your commencement program. Mr. Michael Jansen, class of 1987. Mike is a vice president with IIW Engineers and Surveyors in Dubuque, Iowa. He has worked with a number of our students as those students have completed their senior design project. And he's very much a part of the development of the new Dubuque that you see today along the riverfront and the exciting things that are happening in our neighbor community. Mr. Jeffrey Mathias, class of 1987. Jeff works as a fixed income portfolio manager at American Family Insurance on Madison's East Side. Jeff returns to campus regularly as a member of the Business Advisory Council, the portfolio he supervises and manages in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Dr. Jamie Weber, class of 95. Jamie is Director of Operations for Power World Corporation in Champaign, Illinois. Jamie helped to develop the software that this new company markets. That software simulates high voltage power system operation and the flow of electrical power through a transmission grid. Our final recipient, Mary Beal, class of 1987, was unable to join us today. Mary has a distinguished career as a computer programmer analyst, and she'll be honored later during the year when she has a chance to visit. I'd like to congratulate and show appreciation to each of these young alumni for their accomplishments and the honors they have brought upon their families and this institution. Congratulations. Ms. Deborah Putnam, President of the UW-Platteville Alumni Association, will now announce the awards of alumni life memberships.
Thank you, Chancellor Markey. Graduates, on behalf of the UW-Platteville Alumni Association, it is indeed my pleasure to congratulate you and your families on your graduation today. It is our hope that you will continue your involvement with UW-Platteville as a member of the Alumni Association. I know that many of you have already joined the association, and I hope that you will participate in many activities that we sponsor and return to campus often. At each commencement, the Alumni Association recognizes several graduates for their outstanding academic, campus, personal, and professional achievements by awarding them honorary lifetime memberships into the Alumni Association. This winter, we have selected 4 individuals as recipients. I will introduce them alphabetically. I ask you to hold your applause until they have all been introduced. I ask the recipients to please stand and remain standing until all are introduced. Keith Berger, hometown Luxembourg, his major industrial engineering. Renee Rademacher, hometown Sun Prairie, major agribusiness. Joshua Saylor, hometown Necedah, business administration. Amanda Troy, hometown Benton, middle and secondary level education. Congratulations to each of you. Chancellor Marquis, Provost, University Deans, faculty and staff, families, and guests of today's graduate, on behalf of the UW-Platteville Alumni Association, it is indeed my pleasure and my honor to congratulate all of you, the December 2002 commencement class, and your families on graduation today. With this ceremony, the university is in its 136th year of existence as an institute of higher learning, and you now have become a part of its history and traditions. One of UWP's great traditions is our faculty, and we, of all the Alumni Association, once again wish to thank the dedicated faculty for their integrity and devotion in educating the young men and women of this university. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. To the graduates, it is our hope and desire that you will continue your involvement with UW-Platteville by becoming members of the association. Congratulations to each of you again, and in closing, be Platteville proud. Thank you, and remember your dedicated families who have helped you.
Thank you, Deb. When James R. Underkoffler retired as president and CEO and chairman of the board of Wisconsin Power and Light, the company presented a $250,000 endowment to the university system to recognize excellence in undergraduate teaching by faculty members in their service area. This year, 2 faculty from UW-Platteville were selected and honored with this prestigious award. Brief descriptions of their teaching service are included in your program. I will introduce the honorees. Each will stand as I do so. I ask that you hold your applause until both have been introduced. Dr. Wayne Weber, Associate Professor of Biology and Chair of the Biology Department. Dr. Mark Zeiden, Professor of Agricultural Education. Wayne and Mark, please accept our appreciation for the time, energy that you devote to teaching, advising, and your interacting with our students. Thank you.
We are extremely proud of all of our graduates and will shortly recognize each of them. However, I would like to give special recognition to a group who have distinguished themselves throughout their academic careers. The undergraduate students graduating with academic honors are designated with asterisks in the commencement program and are wearing gold honor stoles. Will those individuals who have achieved highest honors and are graduating summa cum laude, please rise and remain standing. These students have earned cumulative grade point averages between a 3.75 and a perfect 4.0. Now, would those students who have achieved honors and are graduating magna cum laude please rise and remain standing? These students have earned cumulative grade point averages between 3.5 and 3.74. Please join with me in acknowledging this very special group of graduates. Now, will all of the individuals who are about to receive their bachelor's and master's degrees please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Provost, I certify that the candidates standing before you have completed the curricula prescribed by the university faculty for the degrees of Master of Science, Master of Science in Education, Bachelor of Arts, or Bachelor of Science, and are entitled to receive their degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. I therefore recommend that these candidates be granted the appropriate diplomas for the curricula completed.
Upon this certification by the Provost that you have completed the requirements established by the university faculty for the various degrees, and with the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin system, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree which you have earned, together with all the rights and privileges attending thereto. Congratulations. Please be seated. Will the deans now present the degree recipients?
Will the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Dean of the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, and representing the college faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture. Will the recipients please come forward?
Julie Ann Rundy. Dwayne Ronald Altoff. Jeffrey Hardin Anderson. Sarah M. Arndorfer. David Arthur Arndt, Jr. Luke Douglas Baker. Rebecca Susan Barrett. Kurt Allen Barris. Michael M. Berg. Kevin Thomas Byer. Rebecca Renee Blanchette. Michael John Bond. Matthew Allen Boyd. Sherry Jean Brunton. Brett Henry Buchanan. Marcia Elaine Bunker. Amanda Lynn Burke. Laura Ray Cannon Barr. Carrie Ann Chris. Angela Marie Conley. Kevin John Cornell. Michael Allen Davis. Reginald Earl Davis. Eric David Demarath. Christian Michael Detry. Carrie Lynn Dirkman. Nathan Edward Dinderman. Laura Lou Dressler. Jordan Alexandra Emerson. Sherry Lee Engelke. Allison Amanda Fink. Lori Ann Fladmark. Nicholas Scott Fry. Jason Gregory Gallenberger. Bradley Allen Geffert. Ryan Alden Gunlock. Catherine Cheryl Harry. David William Heimerdinger. Chad Benjamin Henneman. Terry William Herwig. Paul J. Hess. Tracy Ann Hohausen. Jacob Ryan Holler. Jonathan Allen Holmes. Joshua Peter Honer. Eric Justin Huff. Nicole Lynn Irish. Eric Duane Iverson. Larry Vernoy Jackson Jr. John H. Jacobs. Brian William Camus. Christy Elizabeth Kelly. Delyn Joy Chemnitz. Amanda Lee Kern. Jason Allen Kerstead. Eric D. Klein. Susan Marie Klubertans. Brent Thomas Koopman. Kyle Michael Kruger. Tyson Larson. Dustin Stephen Lentz. Dennis Allen Leiter. Nicole Marie Lipska. Jean Marjorie Listney. Kelsey Ray Long. Trent Justin Lund. Joel David McElreet. Erin Ann McGraw. Matthew Eugene Meyer. Delroy Joe Miller. Keith John Mlodzik. Jennifer Lee Morshead. David Ronald Mowry. Trent Matthew Niemeyer. Kenneth James Norgard. Trevor Richard Olson. Benjamin Lee Otteson. Molly Rose Peplinski. Glenn Michael Perry. Jeremy Robert Probst. Tony C. Polara. Renee Marie Rademacher. Nathan J. Riemann. Jessica Marie Riley. Andrew Michael Rice. Joshua Stefan Saylor. Matthew Joseph Schaefer. Kate Jean Schilling. Jeffrey J. Schills. Patrick T. Schmidt. Jared George Schneider. Nicholas Allen Seeger. Stuart Einer Smaby. Craig Michael Smith. Melissa Ann Spores. Cody M. Sweet. Jason Lee Tenpas. David Tao. Katie Ann Unbihan. Kirk Michael Uren. Joanna Marie Van Handel. Douglas Vincent Vasilowskis. Marcus John Wagner. Brian Peter Warzenik. Scott David Whitford. Grant Thomas Wilson. Matthew Stephen Wink. Bryn Margaret Wolf.
On behalf of the faculty and staff from the College of Business, Industry, Life Science, and Agriculture, congratulations. You may be seated.
Will the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Dean of the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science and representing the college faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science from the College of Engineering, Mathematics, and Science. Will the recipients please come forward?
Christina Lynn Hankey. Brian J. Peckin. Scott J. Anderson. Leslie Ann Bartelt. Keith Stephen Berger. Matthew David Bloom. Scott Patrick Bowman. Ben James Bowman. Greg Lewis Borens. Nicole Elizabeth Berry. Cynthia Ann Caudle. Patrick J. Claggett. Scott Herman Danzig. Nikki Diane Davis. Jason D. Day. Joshua Lee Dederick. Aaron James Dietz. Ryan L. Drinkwater. Frederick Andrew Eichhorst. Sean Thomas Andres. Mark Robert Friedenberger. Jennifer A. Gooch. Shanna Marie Gensler. Erin Elizabeth Hagan. Edward Anton Handel. Neil Simon Heckendorf. Elizabeth Holbrook Hendricks. Andrew Edwin Hendrickson. Joan Marie Henry. Chad Joseph Holowinski. Mark David Jansen. Gary L. Jensen, Jr. Dwayne Merlin Jorgensen, Jr. Robert John Karsten. Daniel J. Klein. Jennifer Suzanne Plum. Andrew B. Krieger. Robert Allen Latteron. Melissa Mary Lee. Joseph William Libke. Austin Michael McCall. Teresa A. Martin. Neil William Maurer. Matthew Donald Neckvattel. Karen Wan Len Ng. Megan Leah O'Brien. Leanne Ray Olson. Joachim Ostius. Chad D. Page. Jason Andrew Piaski. Corey Lee Piepenberg. Stacy Ann Pike. Nathan James Pliska. Robert Thomas Potter. John Carl Probert. Adam Buser Prochaska. Chris Rector. Robert James Reed. David Lee Reinecke. Jennifer Lynn Rittman. Benjamin Travis Rule. Aramea Rodolphe Serafium. Scott Robert Schinke. Brett Paul Schutpelz. Nicholas Paul Schultz. John Paul Schenberger. Silas John Shirley. Lisa Marie Simonson. Leonard Michael Saha. Daniel Edward Sprati. Ian Robert Stapleman. Brian Robert Stenzel. Todd A. Swoboda. Ryan C. Thiem. Stefan Oliver Turnis. Sherry L. Vandevort. Greg Thomas Vandra. Megan Nayo Walker. Jeffrey Michael Wiegand. Mark W. Wyand. Casey John Werner. James Bernhardt Westland. Jonas Karl Wieck. Justin Brian Zeitlow.
Congratulations and best wishes for a bright future. Please be seated.
Will the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Liberal Arts and Education please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Interim Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Education and representing the college faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science from the College of Liberal Arts and Education. Will the recipients please come forward?
Deanne Ruth Knuckles. Brian Michael Allen. Sarah Bates. Jeremy Paul Bauman. Emily Jane Beetstra. Eric Stephen Biney. Amy Reed Belkin. Sarah L. Bell. Deborah Carol Benson. Susan Elizabeth Brandt. Eric Victor Brown. Lisa Jean Brown. Merrill Jared Brunson. Corinne A. Bryson. Chantel Renee Budak. Christine Elizabeth Burma. Carol Lee Campbell. Laura Ann Casales. Nikki Michelle Krapp. Billy R. Custer. Brandon Francis Doherty. Amanda Noel Fur Stubbe. Jenny Marie Fitzgerald. James Donald Foley. Grace Geraldine Foster. Jennifer Lynn Gazik. Eric Carlton Gebhardt. Kimberly Ann Gleason. Jamie Lee Golmer. Emmeline Ann Good. Heidi Ann Gottfried. Catherine Grace Gudgeon. Zachary Dale Hake. Kelly J. Haskin. Joshua James Herbst. Veronica Lynn Hooks. Carolyn Rose Ingram. Thomas John Ingwell. Kara Elizabeth James. Cami M. Joy. Lynn Marie Cabot. Christy Jean Cather. Jennifer Elizabeth Callis Montana. Kelly Mae Kaminsky. Jennifer Jean Kepler. Kelly Ann Kleesner. Timothy Allen Knuth. Tiffany Jo Court. Andrea Nicole Kraft. Angela Marie Kramer. Trevor James Kreitzman. Amy Nicole Lang. Tricia Ann Lang. Molly Catherine Laverty. Jennifer Rose Leibfried. Rebecca Lynn Linsicum. Tiffany Jill Loger. Brian Timothy McIntyre. Marie Lillian Minier. Jerry Lynn Moran. Matthew Edward Nevers. Alyssa Patrice Olson. Christina Marie Poplowski. Dorothy Eileen Polkerbeck. Christopher Gulick Rear. Laura Lee Rohde. Bernard Gilbert Reut. Kelly Jo Rundy. Kelly Jo Rundy. Amy Michelle Sampson. Tanjula Wanetta Sartine. Benjamin Joseph Shambo. Sarah Michelle Schiller. Karen Lee Schlimgen. Diana Deborah Schmidt. Melissa Elizabeth Schneider. Tara Schutpelz. Dawn L. Sennen. Rebecca Lynn Shipley. Mary Beth Skogman. Joshua Allen Snyder. Holly Marie Stager. Mary Joseph Stoker. Stephanie Ann Straka. Pamela Ann Studniczka Adrian. Stacy Lynn Sura. Stephanie Jo Swanson. Jennifer Molly Cisco. Antonino Tarara. Carrie Ann Teberg. Rebecca Ann Thiede. Caitlin Marie Thompson. Amanda Marie Troy. Kelly Marie Ulick. Jessica M. Usselman. Sabrina Lynn Worspan. Shannon L. Young. Andrea Marie Ziegel. Megan Mary Zimke.
On behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Liberal Arts and Education, I give you a heartfelt congratulations and best wishes for the future. You may be seated.
Will the recipients of the master's degrees please stand? Mr. Chancellor, as Dean of the School of Graduate Studies and representing the graduate faculty, I present to you the recipients of the degrees of Master of Science and Master of Science in Education from the School of Graduate Studies. Will the recipients please come forward?
Susan Ann Andrus. Robin Chase Bellmeyer. Jeffrey W. Brainerd. Jared Burdick. Terry Cleveland Cool. Jennifer Ludwig Erickson. Stephen Paul Essium. Connie M. Gardner. Aaron M. Genrick. Kevin Thomas Gregor. Brandy Jo Hudson. Kritsada Soachukun. Pirat Suetsu Tagun. Donna M. Van Bogart. Nick Wacharapi Mosilp. Carlos A. Wiley. Bradley Rudolph Wilborn. Tina M. Wright. Omina Yusuf Harman.
On behalf of the graduate faculty, congratulations on this milestone in your education. Please be seated.
Again, congratulations to all the graduates. This ceremony would not have been possible without the time and effort and so generously given by a number of groups and individuals. The members of the Commencement Committee are listed in your program. Dr. Roger Higgs, a distinguished member of our faculty for 36 years, is our Commencement Marshal. Dr. Higgs. Mr. Ed Deneen. Mr. Ed Deneen, Registrar, read the names of the graduates. Flawlessly as usual. The university student ambassadors distributed program and organized seating for audience members. Lead singer Chantel Burdock and the symphony band deserve our appreciation for the music accompanying today's ceremony. Will all of those mentioned please rise, and we'll give them one more applause. As we say goodbye to our graduates, I want to give them an opportunity to recognize those that have guided them through their college life with gentle prodding and friendly assistance, the faculty and staff of the university. Faculty colleagues, would you please rise and be recognized by the graduates? Thank you. Thank you for your outstanding work. As each of our students knows, others have provided not only encouragement, support, and financial assistance, but care and love as well. Will the parents, grandparents, husbands, wives, children, grandchildren of the graduates please stand, and we'll recognize you as well. Now we're going to turn to page 27 in the program, and I would ask everyone to stand and join in singing our alma mater. Everybody sing. Seated. Chantel, that was excellent. The commencement ceremony has been videotaped and will be televised this evening at 7 p.m. on Campus Channel 5. Please remain seated until the faculty have left the gymnasium. The graduates will remain to greet their parents, relatives, and friends in the gymnasium.
Coronado.